Imagine the best city in the world. It's fantastic, the houses are cheap, the people are wonderful, everything you want is in this city, and it's innovating with all this cool stuff. But there's also a dark part of town, where if you go there and ask the people to kick you, they will kick you. Would you do that? Would you go to that part of town and ask them to kick you? That is Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, one of the best games I played this year, but part of the game will kick you if you tell it to kick you. So my advice is don't ask it to kick you and just do the good stuff. This is, in my eyes, Super Monkey Ball 3. Regardless of whether there's like 8 of them now, I view this as the third game because it builds upon everything that made those original 2 great, while making its own thing and innovating with a really, really cool mechanic. Levels don't have rails on the side stopping you from jumping off like Monkey Ball 3D. There's no jump button like Banana Blitz. They have actually learned from the failures of the past and have made something that is very true to the core of Monkey Ball. And that all comes from the glorious mechanic that is the spin dash. From now on, I think every game needs a spin dash. Even Paper Mario needs a spin dash. Wait, what do you mean that this is called a spin dash? Nintendo actually called this the spin dash? Can they do that? What this is a chargeable burst of momentum. You no longer need to do a giant run-up to get speed. You can just unleash this whenever you want and make some ridiculous jumps. And when I say jumps, I don't mean this kind of jump. I mean more this kind of jump. I think the best part of this mechanic though is that it's expressive to the player. Most levels aren't built around the spin dash. I mean, some of the earlier ones are to teach you it, but from there on, the vast majority of stages are built like a regular Monkey Ball stage. You can go the long way and play the game as it was designed, as they like. Or you can be expressive and do it as you like. If you just want to charge up that spin dash, boost into a corner and hope that it launches you into the goal, you can do that. In fact, the vast majority of what I do is just flail off the edge and try and fall into the goal. I do this so much that it's probably quicker to do it the regular way, but it's so satisfying when I finally get the right angle and finally swing into that goal. Monkey Ball speedruns are the most interesting to watch of any game series ever. If you sat down and watched one, they're nuts. And Banana Rumble is going to be the most fascinating of them all. This mechanic is incredibly in-depth. Anyone can use it, anyone can fling themselves off the edge, but nailing that, getting it right every time, is an extremely high skill ceiling. But it's not just about swinging yourself off the edge. This spin dash can be used as a brake, as a drift. If you're about to fall off the edge, just nudge yourself in the other direction and you'll probably save yourself. If you find that you're losing speed by running into the wall, just spin dash to the right and try and drift around the corner. It's an extremely versatile move, and I don't want Monkey Ball to exist anymore without the spin dash. So you can play Banana Rumble the normal way. You can play the unhinged way. You can play the calculated way. You can play the completionist way, where you go around and get every golden banana or try and get every single banana in the stage. There are so many different ways to play and so much replay value, especially if you're a speedrunner trying to do all these levels consecutively, nailing them every time. And it gives you so many tools to learn as well. That helper function, which in Banana Mania was pretty cool, is even better here. It shows you the way to the goal, so if you're stuck in a stage like this one here, which by the way is the worst one in the game, this stage expects you to just nudge into this block, to push it, to find the goal. This is not a mechanic anywhere else in the game. I don't know why it's here. But it's great for any stage, for any person of any skill set to just learn the layout before trying it themselves. And what's great for speedrunners and novices is there's a rewind feature. So if you're struggling, you can just rewind and go back. But if you're trying to nail a specific strategy, or try and see if it's even viable in the first place, you can just keep doing those micro adjustments until you finally get it right and memorize it. And there's so many great quality of life improvements like that. For one, holding the R button fixes the camera. So in most Monkey Ball games, if you're moving around, the camera's moving with you. And that's true for this game too. But in some instances, it can be highly beneficial to leave the camera facing forward, not moving, and just being able to see everything in view and move with great accuracy. There's a ton of stages where I feel like this is kind of necessary, and it just makes Monkey Ball even better. So there's quality of life improvements that are as big as that stuff, but there's also small but also still pretty big things, like seeing your silhouette through the wall when the camera is obscured of the player. It's all this stuff that makes Banana Rumble arguably the best game in the series. Not just the best game since Monkey Ball 2, but in some ways exceeding Monkey Ball 2. Now, in my opinion, the original Monkey Ball games have a very high difficulty curve. It looks a bit like this. It goes, "Argh!" Whereas Banana Rumble is a bit more like this. You have to work to that difficulty. Most people will probably finish the game, whereas I'm sure most people did not finish Monkey Ball 1. And once you finish the game, there's another game in there. There's another 100 levels after the first 100 levels, and they get even harder. But I found, even though the difficulty was generally much easier, I was making it harder for myself by trying to utilize the spin dash and do the most nutso thing possible. So I created my own difficulty by being expressive. And speaking of expression, all the characters are vastly different. For instance, Mimi can't really make this jump, like maybe she can if it's ultra precise, but Palette, my new favorite monkey by the way, I love Palette, she can make this jump a little bit too easily. She's probably going to fall off. Gon Gon can also make the jump, but because Gon Gon is heavier and has an easier stopping speed, he can make it much easier than Palette can. So depending on your playstyle, you'll probably want to play around with different monkeys, and I do suggest Palette. Like, not only is she incredibly cool looking, like this is one of the best monkey designs I've ever seen in my life, but also she has a great middle ground where her spin dash is excellent, and she can do some really, really cool stuff. And you know what, speaking of Palette, she is pretty much the star of the story, and they've actually put some effort in this time. I mean, it's not like a grand story, but it's got cute little cutscenes that are fully animated, and we've not had that since, I'd say, Monkey Ball 2. Banana Blitz had like a few little bits like that, but nothing like this. This is kind of like Monkey Ball 3. It's all just presented so beautifully. The animation style, the gorgeous backgrounds, the music is also some of the best the series has ever had. Banana Rumble is truly excellent. It doesn't quite exceed the originals in every way, though. I think the originals had a very good feeling of feedback, like the monkeys would start rolling around in the ball when the velocity got really high, and there were these sparks, and the sound sounds quite aggressive. Whereas everything here is a bit more bubbly. There isn't really a high-octane sound when you're going fast, and the monkeys never really spin round. It just doesn't quite feel as fast and frantic. And the physics in general are much more like Banana Mania. And that's not so much a problem here because the levels are designed around them rather than Banana Mania where they're designed around the originals. And they're also designed around the spin dash, which really makes these physics come to life. And so I think a lot of things that were a problem in Banana Mania are just negated here because the game was designed around them in the first place. And what's really cool too is Monkey Ball has gone online for the first time, and up to 4 people can play the game online together. I played with a stranger, just me and them hopping into their game, and I think they probably thought I was an idiot, because the way this works is only one player needs to touch the goal for those to progress, and if you fall off, you've got to wait until the other player either finishes or falls off for it to reset. And I would always try and do a fun little skip. They would not, so I'd basically fall off immediately, and they'd send a message like, "I swear, I'm trying to do something cool, I don't just suck at the game. Please forgive me." But this works really well, and I can't wait to hang out with some friends and just do a full playthrough together. This is where the game shines in my opinion, just socializing the core game without changing anything. We have had this kind of mode in previous Monkey Balls, but never as seamless as this, especially with online play. The vast majority of levels feel like they are designed with exploitation in mind. Even the more complex ones, like I wouldn't dare try to exploit a level like this, but I think it's probably possible to. The core design of a level is clearly there. You're meant to go this way, but it's always just kinda making you want to jump. It always makes you just want to try and take a leap of faith, and sometimes it works. And you know what, going back for a second playthrough, all those jumps that I spent so many times trying and failing to grasp, I actually did really well, nailing on my first time sometimes, but sometimes my second time, my third time. I felt like I was getting better at the stages, better at memorizing the best routes. And there are so many tools that you can view the entire stage and look around and try and get close, find the goal. And you can even save replays now, which is something I actually didn't realize you could do until recently. I was taking captures on the Switch. But in these ones, you can actually rewind and see exactly what you did. You can move the camera around, get into photo mode, and just check everything out. And this is just such a cool little tool. If you're just looking at this core mode, Banana Rumble is absolutely magnificent. It allows you to play how you want to play. Do you want to just play it normally, or do you want to be crazy? Do you want to play as a normal monkey, or do you want to customize them? Do you want to give them sunglasses? Do you want to put the game's logo on the ball? Do you want to play with other people? Do you want to play alone? Whatever you do, Monkey Ball Banana Rumble is fully justified just on the core mode alone. I think more so than any other Monkey Ball game has ever been. I am happy that I bought the game just for this. I am content, never touching anything else. But I did go to that part of town that kicks you if you ask it to kick you. And, some of the kicks don't hurt that much. Some of the kicks kind of feel nice. I want to say thank you for kicking me. But it's a kick all the same. And the weirdest thing you'll notice straight away, it's jarring, is the game loses all its frames. So 30 FPS becomes what feels like the top, but it often goes way below that. And so you get games like this, which is basically Fall Guys, where you play regular Monkey Ball, only it's not enjoyable. The core of the mode isn't so bad. I think Monkey Ball Fall Guys is a pretty good idea, but it just feels like a slog to play. And I did like some modes. I liked this bomb mode. I thought that was pretty cool. A few players carry the bomb, and you've got to pass them to other players before the time runs out. And if you end while carrying a bomb, you die. You lose. I think that's a good mode. I think the mode where you collect bananas is pretty cool. It's basically Mario Kart's coin mode. That feels kind of nice. But when the game runs this poorly, I think I'd just rather not be playing it. Play it once, because you get Dr. Bad Boon if you play with randoms, and I'll do that soon, because I imagine not that many people are going to keep playing this game as the time goes on, especially this mode. But stick to the core of Banana Rumble. Not only is it the best Monkey Ball game in years, arguably the best Monkey Ball game ever, but it's one of the best games you'll play this year. Not that many games are just focused on raw, enjoyable fun. But this is it. This game encapsulates fun with every turn. Every stage is magnificent, and the core mechanics elevate it to a point where it is unmissable. If you own a Switch, and you haven't tried this game at the very least, I think you are missing out. It is not a perfect package. Monkey Ball will never be a perfect package until they nail Monkey Target again, but what's here is great. So if you're just going to play the core game on your own, or you've got some friends that you want to play it with, absolutely get it. Don't even hesitate. Just ignore the part of town where they kick you. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you rumbling around, but not in the rumble mode, more so in the good mode. See you later. Bye.